So in the previous video, I showed you how to obtain data from the Census Bureau. In this video, I'm going to show you how to prepare that data, or those data, for bringing into ARC. Now, in the 7th lab, you're doing this with several different data files, and ultimately you will join these to your shapefile. I'm going to show you that in a third video, how that final step works. But first, we're going to prepare the data so that we can take that final step. Now here is a file from the Census Bureau. I believe we're looking at educational attainment, which is a complicated one, which is why I wanted to show it to you. And I just want to point out there are 3 files that ship with these. One of them, the CSV file called Data with Overlays, is the file that contains the actual data. And because educational attainment is particularly complicated, compare it to median household income, I'm going to point out that there's also this metadata file, which allows you to take a look at the contents. Metadata is just a Greek word for data about data. Now, if you scan through the metadata, and my interface here will look a little different from yours because I don't usually open up CSV files using Excel, and I just double-clicked on it, and it opened up in a program I use to teach statistics called JUMP. And I'm lazy, so I'm just keeping it here. But if you browse through here, you'll see in this education variable there are 769 different variables. So this is a huge and ponderous file. But at the very beginning, there are several files that are useful to us. One is the number of people 25 years and over who have bachelor degrees. And the other is the number of people 25 years and over. Now this is, keep in mind, by tracts. We're saying how many people in each tract are 25 years and above, and how many people in each tract who are 25 years and above have bachelor degrees. So if we take 12E and divide it by 6E, we'll have the percentage of the people in each tract who hold bachelor degrees. So that number is going to be reported as a number between 0 and 1, so as a representative fraction. So 0.75 would mean 75%. Now, when you download the file, it doesn't look anything like this. It looks like this. Don't save it. And so you're thinking, oh my goodness, this is overwhelming. Well, if I had been smart, I would have copied the values from that table. But I'll just point out that in Excel, remember, if you click in a cell, it tells you what's in that cell if you click above it. And so I'm looking for the one that ends with 6E and 12E. So here's 7E. Hey, I'm getting close. It's probably about here. There's 6E. Now if I make this wider, I'll see that this is, if I can make it super wide, population 25 years and over. And if I click over here somewhere, I'll probably find 12E. I bet it's this one. So 12E is, remember, the number of people in each tract above 25 years old. So I can expand that and prove it. Number of people in each tract who are 25 years and older who hold bachelor's degrees. Now everything but those 2 fields, those 2 big columns, and this one, GeoID, honestly, I can live without. Even this one, which seems so tempting to keep, it's really useless. And ultimately, what I need to do then, just to make my life simpler, is delete this stuff. So I'm going to do it. To delete columns in Excel, you just select the columns you want to delete, right-click in the header row, and say delete. It's just that easy. And so there's some of them, and now I want to delete these. And remember, there's 769 of these, so I could hold down my scroll key and go forever, or I could just go way out here and hold down my shift key and delete. And now they're all gone. Boy, I don't like these codes, so I'm going to call this, I'm going to rename this column BAs. And I'm going to rename this column over 25. So I can just remember that, right? I don't have to remind myself what that means, but remember what we're working with. This is the number of BAs in each tract. and this column here is the number of people over 25. So of the people over 25, how many people have BAs and how many people are over 25? So I can get rid of this reminder about what these mean and just to restore my sanity, so we're looking at everything in a confined way, I will drag all that together. Now I'm getting really close. What am I going to work with ultimately? Well, ultimately I'm going to calculate what percentage of each tract holds BAs. And I meant to type a P there. Percent BAs. Oh no, I'm really doing it, making a mess. What did I call this one? BAs. All right. To calculate that, I'm going to take the total number of people who are over 25 and have BAs and divide it by 3492. Well, in Excel, I can do that by creating a formula. So I'm just going to say equals this cell, and then divided by, which is a / this cell, and hit enter. So that tract, about 20% of the people in this tract hold BAs. If you look at the numbers, you can convince yourself that that's true. Now, having entered this in one cell, the good news is I don't have to enter this for every tract I'm working with. I can just go to this little box here and double click, and it will fill that formula all the way to the bottom of my table. Isn't that awesome? Yes, it is. Okay, now I'm really close. I won't show it to you to convince you that this is true, but if I were to attempt to join this table to my tract shapefile, I wouldn't be able to do it because I don't have a common field. I don't have a field to use as the key field for a join. But I'll tell you that this is true, and you can believe me. The last 11 digits of the GeoID field are the same as the field called GeoID, might be GeoID 10, in your tract shapefile. Take a look if you don't believe me. And so if only there were a way that I could just extract the right 11 digits of this column, then I'd be in money. Well, here's the good news. There is a way. The way I'm going to do that is by using what's called a write function. I'm doing that because I want to extract the right 11 digits. A write function works like this. I'm going to say equals, equals write, R-I-G-H-T. And then if I type parenthesis, open the parenthesis and click over on this cell, I'm telling it, take the right digits from that cell, and I'll say comma 11. Take the 11 digits on the right-hand side of that cell and copy them over here. And there you have it, 24005, blah, 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 blah. And again, if I double-click on that, I've got that column filled. I just need a name for this, and I'll call it GeoID. Why not? Yep. So I have everything I need to join this to the shapefile. One thing I'm going to have to do in ARC, and I'll show it to you in a separate video, is take this file and, this column will inevitably be read into ARC as a numeric file. I'll have to either insert a new column in this table in ARC, which means exporting it as a DBase table first, because you can't add a table to a CSV file in ARC, just can't do it. It means exporting it as a DBase table by right-clicking on it in the table of contents and saying data export, or adding a column to the shapefile that is numeric. It could be, it would probably be best to make it a double, and copying over the GeoID from the shapefile into that column in the shapefile. So just copy a column over, kind of like we just did, but all the digits. And that'll get you there. I'll show you those steps in the next video.